Hello, good evening, and welcome to the finish line. This is the hub for all the previews and reviews and all the action of Champs 2021. Thank you very much for joining us on Television Jamaica's official YouTube channel. 2020 proved to be a challenging year with no action on the track and in the field as well. But in 2021, we have all the action. And on this show, we're going to be breaking down the events and the chances of each school heading into these grueling 5 days of competition. I'm your host, Simon Preston, and we are joined by two esteemed analysts for this series. We'll be on every single day throughout the course of the championship. Our first analyst we'll be introducing this evening is none other than writer, coach, and analyst Raymond Casey Graham.
Good evening, Simon, and I'm very happy to be on your program.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much, Coach. And we're also joined by writer, analyst, and reporter of the Jamaica Gleaner Company, Akina Ming. Akina, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Simon, and I'm really enjoying these champions.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you both on to discuss track and field action. As we know, it is 5 grueling days of competition. Yes, and we always see your comments, viewers coming in also on our YouTube channel as well. Keep them coming in throughout the course of the 5 days. Any questions you may have for analysts, do let us know as well, and we'll keep you up to date as it relates to the latest point standings, as we had 16 finals today, 10 on the girls' side and also 6 on the boys' side. Before we actually look at the different events that happened on today's action, Coach Casey Graham, let me come to you first. We didn't have Champs in 2020. The last event we actually saw at Champs in 2019, we saw Excelsior leading with their 4x400 meter team with Devontae Archer to glory in that open relay. How does it feel to see arguably the greatest high school track and field championship back on the island?
I'm happy for the kids. You know, they train very hard, and most of them depend on this for their future. And when I heard at one stage that it's like there could be no championship, I was worried for them because you know, it's difficult to know that you have been training so hard for 9 months and can't compete. So I'm happy as a person who was involved as a coach and as a person who loves the sport. I'm happy to see track and field because this is my favorite sport. So I'm happy also for the coaches because most of them, they spend night and day making a lot of sacrifices. And I'm happy that it's a truncated one, but nevertheless, this is for the athletes. So I'm happy that something is going on.
Indeed. And for Akina, for you, how does it feel as well, not only in the sense of an analyst, but also a writer, reporter, to have some track and field coverage to report on?
It's also it's always good to have track and field back. I mean, for the development of the sport in Jamaica, and more importantly for the student athletes who are trying to matriculate or will be matriculating to university. As we know, Champs is one of those events that scouts from America, whether they tuned in via the internet or sometimes they come down here themselves to recruit athletes. It's very good for these student athletes to have an opportunity to showcase their talents so that they can matriculate the tertiary institution.
All right, and yes, our technical team will advise us as well when we'll have the footage to analyze a couple of the races that we can have on our screen and actually break down the events. But before that, gentlemen, we had 16 finals today, as I mentioned earlier, 85 in total throughout the course of the 5 days. So we've essentially covered 19% or almost 1/5 of all the races. Aquino, starting with you. On a Tuesday, normally we'll be starting to build some momentum, but to have 16 finals, we're already bringing out the pen, the papers, the calculators. How did it feel for you?
I think it's interesting. I mean, because we're actually seeing the championship shape on the first day, which is not something that we would normally see pre-COVID. But I think Jamaica College really looked to be in good shape. Kingston College had a wonderful day. They had some casualties and that championship. But I'm expecting KC to fight until the end. But for me, the most important performance on the day was Shanti Foreman of St. Jago, the Class 1 girls in the high jump. She soared to 1.84 meters in the Class 1. And the reason why this performance stand out more than any other. Even though we had a record on the day with her Dawkins. Was because Shante was actually she won all the high jump in all 4 classes. And I think that is showing her class for a long time. His longevity is really important. I think that was interesting.
Yes, a supremely talented young lady indeed, not only right now at San Diego, but also from her time at Excelsior as well. Coach Graham, we're going to come to you quite shortly, but before that, what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the steeplechase, the 2,000-meter steeplechase for girls open that we saw the first race of action this morning at 9 o'clock, and afterwards, we're going to break down that event and others from Champs Day 1 action of 2021.
100 meters to go now. Samantha Price of Homewood Technical. Looking good, large and in charge.
Almost had a problem on that last hurdle.
Samantha Price of Homewood Technical has this one sewn up in the bag. In fabulous style, she lands the first gold medal at Champs 2021, 7:04.43, the flash time. For the girls, 2,000 meters steeplechase open final, 7:07.43. The record is safe. And Edwin Allen's Sanya Gibson comes in second.
So that was Samantha Price of Homewood Technical, 7 minutes, 07.12 seconds, 9 precious points for Homewood Technical in the bag. Coach Graham, your thoughts about Samantha's performance in this race? Was she expected to go on and win this title? She certainly had competition early on. She kept her composure. There was some competition from Gibson of Edwin Allen. Your thoughts about the execution?
Okay, Samantha Price, she's the most experienced middle distance athlete in that field. But she was not the favorite because Homewood Technical, they started their preparation very late. And she did not show that from leading up the championship. Well, expected St. Diego girls to dominate with Edwin Allen. Well, she called back on her experience and she did very well because when with 2 laps to go, she just dismantled the field. And it was a convincing win, and it showed the strength of Homewood middle distance. And I think this will do Homewood good. I'm kind of disappointed that St. Diego, their 2 athletes did not do that well. I think the occasion got to them. But as I said, Samantha Price, she has been at Champs for a year. She's the most experienced person in the field running at Champs. So she just came and she did what she had to do. And this is good for the program. She ran very intelligently. She, at one stage when St. Joe girl went through, she did not panic. She just stayed behind her and made her move at the right time.
Yes, indeed. That was Rochelle Johnson of San Diego High finishing third, 7 minutes, 17.70. You know, Aquino, Samantha Price was interviewed shortly after this race, and she spoke about the preparation that she had, and it was quite lackluster, a bit of indecision. Was Champs going to take place? Was it not going to take place? You know, for an athlete, you know, it must have been a lot of indecision, frustration, and for her to come out with a performance, a victory, a gold medal, and 9 points in the bag, it certainly must be relief on her part.
Definitely, and it also shows our mental fortitude. I mean, to have a season like this where it's kind of topsy-turvy, 1 minute Champs is on, 1 minute it's off, 1 minute you're training, the next minute you're not, and also for the coaches as well, to get an athlete ready for a championship like this. Right now, I mean, you were preparing for a championship in March, and now it's in May. It certainly would have been a difficult thing, and so it's important that athletes enjoy each championship because it's really an opportunity for them to put some time down and keep it going.
Indeed. So that was Samantha Price, Homewood Technical, 7 minutes, 07.12. We're going to look at the boys equivalent now, the boys 2,000 meter steeplechase. Perhaps a surprise here, Rivaldo Marshall, quite a veteran in this event. Second 2018, won it 2019. We all know the pandemic broke out in 2020 on the island. 2021, what happened? Well, let's see if that race is ready for us, and let's see the battle between Kingston College and Calabar and how that panned out.
It's the final barrier. The record is 12 seconds away.
Rivaldo Marshall from Kirk Dawkins. Looks like they will come back to the finish in that order.
Oh, no.
Or will they? Oh, Dawkins digs deep. Finds something extra. Kirk Dawkins of Kingston College lands the boys 2,000 meters steeplechase open 5:52.99. The record stays intact. Marshall takes silver. And for a brief moment, Marshall looked as if he had the gold in the bag. But Dawkins really dug into his bag of reserves, hauled him in, and turned the table.
The scoreboard is showing it as Atawatsi as opposed to Dawkins.
That's Kirk Dawkins of Kingston College, 5 minutes 52.74, erasing the mark of 5 minutes 53.14 from Felicio Green of San Diego back in 2016. Coach Graham, did you see Kirk Dawkins having that late burst of gas and energy to be able to motor him over that line and those 9 precious points in the bag?
Yes, Simon. You said earlier, it's a surprise result. Although Marshall won in 2019, Dawkins has been the best steeplechase athlete this season. And both of them, it was a good race, and you have to give them a lot of credit, because when you have somebody like a Calabar young man in front there, he has been way above at least on the flat events, and he showed the Kingston College fight there, because some people would have given up to see a Marshall in front, but he fought gallantly in the end and to maintain his unbeaten run. He was the best person coming, despite the name that Marshall had 2019, but he was the best person. He has not lost in a race. He had the best time, and all 3 athletes they did their personal best today. You must congratulate the Jamaica College athlete too. He did personal best. So it was a good race. I enjoyed it. No spectators were there, but I really enjoyed that race with 2 athletes battling out for top honor, especially 2 schools, Kingston College and Calabar, their usual rivalry.
Indeed. Aquino, Kingston College 1st and 7th in this race. Atogwatsi coming 7th and Calabar 2nd and 6th. When you add up all of the points together, that's 11 points for this race for Casey and 10 for Calabar. And as the races keep coming, Kingston College starts to build their gap. And as we look at the points later, we'll be able to see that gap and where it is at this point in time. How precious was this to start off the morning for the Purple and Whites team?
Very important. I think it kind of set the pace for the championship for KC. We have seen throughout the day that they have gone on to score some double-digit points in events in some of these finals. And so I think that was important. They had a few casualties, of course. We're going to talk about those later. But definitely, I think they really set the tone. Interestingly, though, I think what could have been a factor in this race was that was also the pandemic. We see where Marshall was leading and his legs almost gave way in the last 30, 40 meters of the race. You would have been preparing for a championship in March and now we're in May. So that might have been a factor.
Mm-hmm. And Simon.
Yes, go ahead, Coach.
KC, they underscored here. They were favored to come 1-3. That's 15 points, and because their second string athlete, the African athlete, he had a problem with his ankle during the race, and he fell back at the bottom. On the other hand, Jamaica College, they overscored here. So KC lost at least 4 points here, while Jamaica College gained at least 2 points here.
Quite interesting. Matthew Gordon of Jamaica College, 6 minutes 04.80. That's 6 points for JC right there. And before we actually get into the hurdles and look through a couple of those races, Aquino, you were speaking a bit earlier about Shantae Foreman and the form that she was in. How impressed were you by her performances today in the Class 1 girls high jump?
I'm really impressed. I've been impressed by this young lady she was in Class 3. She has, she's really tall, and her technique is really good as well. But I mean, to learn of her story, what she had doing during this season with the pandemic, she lives in St. Thomas, a community by the name of, I think, her coach, Gavin James, said that he has to travel to St. Thomas regularly in order to get her motivated. And it was a really good performance, and I think she's one for the future.
Wonderful, wonderful there. Shante Foreman winning in the different classes throughout the course of the championships. We're going to have a look at some of the hurdles races that we had throughout the course of today. We're going to first start with the girls, I believe the class 1 girls 100 meters, and then we'll look at the 110 meter hurdles for boys and that final.
Stopped, so it's now Tajay Francis of Casey who has the ascendancy. It's going to be purple and white of Kingston College. Tajay Francis of Casey gets the win against all the odds.
Say to you that his heat looked untidy.
Yes, that was the audio from the 110 meter hurdles. Tajay Francis there of Kingston College continuing their tradition from 2019 where they had Wayne Pinnock go on and get that record. Coach Graham, I just want to start with you here with the boys hurdles and the 110 meter hurdles. We saw the record go essentially every year, and this was the year where it wasn't broken. We saw previously with the young man Dejor Russell and how he did 2017, 2018, and Wayne Pinnock really breaking that trend of black and green, and now purple and white. Now Tajay Francis carrying on the tradition of KC.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that I think the best person coming to the championship, Vashan Vasien of Kingston College, former of St. Diego, the class 2 record holder. Last year he was on par to run a very outstanding race with I think with Pinnock, but he got injured. Today we saw him today. We have not seen him all season, and I have some concern. Because if you're a top hurdler and you only run one race for the season, you're in trouble. I feel like he was hurt because you can. Akina will tell you that you can't be a hurdler. It's a rhythm event. You need to run consistently, and he has only competed once, so I knew there was some problem. So when I saw him at the start of the race, I was worried. I knew something was wrong, and he came to the championship as he ran 13.23 in his only race. He's better than the field, but Francis, he has been doing hurdles a long time. I must say it here, I actually started him doing hurdles when I was at KC. He's a long jumper too, triple jumper, and he has improved. When I saw his time at the various meets, running 10.38, he has now become the fastest person at Kingston College based on the meets where he has been to. So no surprise here. He has been doing hurdles from his first year in class 3. And I'm disappointed though. The field was watered down in the final, a false start, and 4 did not finish. But you can't take away a medal from he's a champion. And whether you have 3 or 4, as long as you pass the tape first, you're the champion. And that is good. Kingston College, this is their bread and butter. No other school has dominated early like Kingston College. Doesn't matter who is their coach, they are going to dominate. That is something that they strive on. So Casey needed these points because today was their strong day. In the 6th final, JC week, today's JC week day. Once the early is out of the way, JC will smile because and they score some points. So I'm kind of surprised that JC scored so many points despite their Matthew Neal not running. So I think it was a good day for JC in hurdles despite not scoring as much points as Kingston College.
Yes, Jaheim Stern finishing second of JC there, 13.78, 7 points for them, and Rajay Reed of Excelsior 15.25 for 6 points there. Aquino, as you know, there wasn't no Neil Matthew Sutherland of JC. We didn't have Vashan Vasiana as well. Quite underwhelming, you think, for the 110 final for Class 1 boys?
Yeah, kind of. But these are championships and things will happen. And so we have to commend Tajay Francis for and delivering the gold medal for KC and claiming 9 points. I mean, Casey would have been looking for a score in double digits in this event, but it didn't happen. But for him to rebound after what happened to Vasiana and win the gold medal, I think that was commendable.
Yeah, quite shortly we'll be able to bring up the girls' equivalent in terms of the Class 1 girls 100 meter hurdles. But firstly, Coach Graham, we understand that hamstring is an issue amongst many sprint hurdlers, and not only on the girls' side but on the boys' side as well. Is it about the overwork? Is it about the decision making of the athletes and their trail legs? What would cause some of these challenges that we often find with these athletes, especially when it comes to champs time?
Yeah, the technique is very important. Once you hit that early, there's a serious problem. This is a race you can't make any mistake, and most time you have these injury problems because of not doing the right technique. Hitting a hurdle can throw you off. So, and again, it's you think about a barrier sometimes. it's in the mind sometimes. You are very anxious to get over the hurdle, and that can cause you to reach too early for the barrier, and that can cause a problem here.
All right, I understand there. And let us have a look at the Class 1 girls 100-meter final, and then we'll recap the winner of that race and how the point standings will look, especially on the girls' side of things. So it was Onika Wilson of Hydel High. She was the one that claimed this title, 13.60, 9 precious points for Hydel. Marissa Simpson of Clarendon College was second, 13.70. Patrice Clark of Edwin Allen, third, 13.81. And Salisi Miles of Rosse's, who we saw that was so impressive at the Central Championships. Eastern Champion, 13.87 for Miles there. Gabriel Matthews, we remember from Hydel, now at the Queen's School there, finishing fifth. Aquino Wilson of Hydel claiming that 13.60. Hydel, could they challenge Edwin Allen this year, you feel?
No, I don't think so. But I think it was a very interesting race. I mean, and for her personally, she was emotional at the end. But Hydel have been picking up some points in the hurdles. And that's good. I mean, we saw in 2019, and they gathered a lot of points, and they made a good run in the end. But I think Edwin Allen will be too strong for them.
Coach, how do you feel the competition is heating up on the girls' side? San Diego has certainly left a stamp to their authority on day one, followed by Hydel, Edwin Allen, some work to do. How do you see the girls' side shaping up over the next 4 days?
Based on my projection, I am back on target. I had San Diego to lead with 89 points. They're on 81. I had Hydel to be second in 75. They're on 76. I had Edwin Allen to be in third and 73. They're on 71. I had Umas to be fourth and 19. They have 21. So I'm back on target. San Diego could have scored more, but they had a lot of mishap today. Edwin Allen, tomorrow we have 4 finals. Edwin Allen will take our lead tomorrow. Their middle distance team is powerful. So it's like Jason, the boys' side. You have to give Hydel credit. Corey Bennett. They have been dominating hurdles over the years. When you look at the results today, it was a Hydel show in hurdles. I do not think either Hydel or San Diego, they do not have the depth to beat an Edwin Allen team. As I said earlier, the middle distance events, Edwin Allen, they can win all the middle distance events in all the classes. So I expect them to, as of tomorrow, and the third day, they should go in front and keep moving away. For any team to beat Edwin Allen, they need to get improved in that area. St. Diego has improved because over the years, past 2 years, they have not done well. 2 years ago, I see them coming into their own now, but they are short in other years. And they are very unfortunate. They lost 3 young ladies this year. Brianna Liston went to Hydel. They lost Crystal Morrison. And when you see in a class 1, St. Diego always dominating class 1. This year they had nobody in class 1 because they lost 2 of their hurlers who should have been back in school. If those 2 girls were back in school along with Liston, we would be saying something different now. You look at least 45, 50 points, they would have been a favorite. So I think Edwin Allen, based on their middle distance and the strength of their class 4 team this year, they are very strong in class 4. They are going to overcome both Hydel and San Diego and win the championship for 7 years in a row and 8 overall.
So Coach Graham gave us the top 5 ascents in terms of the point standing on the girls' side. San Diego 81, Hydel 76, Edwin Allen 71, Wolmer's girls in 4th with 21 points, Homewood Technical in 5th with 17, Excelsior in 6th position, 16.5 points, St. Catherine High with 14 points, Very Technical with 11 points, Alpha with 9.5, and running out the top 10, St. Elizabeth Technical with 7 points. All right, gentlemen, within the last 5 minutes of the show, what we're going to do, we're going to slightly preview what is ahead to come tomorrow. We have 5 finals tomorrow, 4 on the girls' side and 1 on the boys' side. On the girls' side, we have the long jump for Class 4 girls. We also have the shot put for Class 1 girls. In addition to that, we have the girls' Class 2 high jump final. And we also have the discus throw for Class 2 girls. And the final on the boys' side will be the long jump for Class 2 boys. And in addition to those 5 finals, gentlemen, Aquino, I'm going to start with you. We have the preliminaries for the 100 meters and the one lap event, the 400 meters. Aquino, what catches your eye heading into Wednesday's second day of action?
Well, I mean, as you mentioned about the one lap event, Mark Anthony Miller. I'm looking forward to seeing him run here. He ran 48.08 seconds already this season, and he's a first-year Class 2 athlete. It's really impressive. He was comfortably in the first round in the 200 meters today, and so I'm looking forward to see what he will come to. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Coach Graham, who stands out for you going into tomorrow's second day of action, and which event for you? Even the hurdle, the relays as well.
Tomorrow, we are going to see the first record of the championship.
Okay.
The girls' Class 2 discus. There's a young lady out of Open Technical by the name of Cedrica Willer. The record in the Class 2 discus, she's the Class 3 record holder. She's the Character Games and a 17 record holder. She did both in 2019. The record is 46.66 by Marie Forbes of Veer. She has been throwing 51 consistently. She will break the record. So I think the Class 2 discus will be the event tomorrow to see the first record. Also, I'm looking forward to the high jump Class 2 girl, Anishka McDonald. She has won in Class 4. She came third in Class 3, once behind Shantae Foreman. We know who Shantae Foreman is. And she won in Class 3. She will be going for her third victory in a row at the championship. Also is William. So I think and you look at the shot put Class 1, St. Diego, Kayla Davis. She wanted to make up for what she did today in the shot put. So I think tomorrow we will see an adrenaline team scoring a lot of points. They will score over 70 odd points tomorrow. They will take the lead, and San Diego, they will still score some crucial points, but they will be behind at adrenaline, and they won't be passed until the championship maybe next year. So among the boys, just one final. Long jump Class 2 boys. I think Kingston College will get some more points and stretch their lead, but not enough to hold off and Jamaica College team, who on Thursday will be coming in with their 1,500 meters athletes. And I think they will come Quinella in those events and cut the gap on KC there.
All right, as it stands right now, after 6 events for the boys, it's Kingston College 55 points, followed by Calabar 24 points behind with 31. San Diego High in third with 31 points. You could say level with Calabar there. St. Elizabeth Technical in 4th position, 26 points. Jamaica College in 5th right now, 24 points. As Coach Graham says, look out for them coming into day 3. They'll be one to look out for. Woolmer's boys, 7 points. Edwin Allen, 7. Belfield with 6. Excelsior also with 6 points. Cornwall College with 4 points. Clarendon College with 3. Vere Technical with 2. And Oberlin High with 1 point. Those are the 13 schools on the boys' side that have so far registered points so far for the championships. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate your insight into day 1 action. We look forward to do this time tomorrow evening to break down day 2 action. Will there be any changes in the point standings? Will Hydel High continue to and San Diego continue to strut their stuff? Will there be changes? Well, only time will tell to see if there'll be changes.
Yeah, and Allen will go in front tomorrow, and San Diego will be in second, same way. So Edwin Allen will take out the lead tomorrow. But for the boys, with one final, KC remained in front, and Calabar will stay there. And Jamaica College, they will have to wait until the 3rd day before they cut into that league.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Really, really appreciate it. For those tuning in on Television Jamaica's YouTube channel, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. On behalf of Aquino, Raymond, myself, Simon, Preston, pleasant viewing, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 6 p.m. for another show just like this.